What's going on, guys? This is Richie here from the Red Planet Films, and today I'm bringing you my review for Doctor Strange, starring Benedict Cumberbatch and a whole bunch of other people whose names I don't even think I want to pronounce because I have a very strong feeling that I will botch them like crazy, but I will try as this review progresses. If you're wondering what this big monstrosity here is, over to my left, this is a beautiful Blue Yeti microphone lent to me by my good friend Jesus. He has a YouTube channel where he does video games called Zeus is Loose. Make sure to check him out. I will put the link in the description box down below, and you can also find it on our main channel page as well over on the right hand side. And if you're not already, make sure to subscribe to Red Planet Gaming. That is our gaming channel where we do gaming videos, duh, and sometimes the occasional unboxing and all that good stuff. So if you haven't already, make sure to check that channel out as well. So I went to see Doctor Strange just a little while ago with a couple of friends and family, and to be honest, I didn't really quite know what to expect. I went into this movie really blind. I know very little about Doctor Strange and the whole character and just everything else about it. So whatever other trailers and TV spots that came out, I kind of stood away from it because essentially I didn't want to really spoil anything. And walking out of this movie, what I can say is that this film is very odd, but in a very satisfying way. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of stuff while I was watching the film that I felt was heavily influenced. I don't want to say borrowed, but a lot of stuff that was used in the movie just reminded me of a couple of different things from other movies. For example, I was thinking a lot of The Matrix. I was thinking a lot of Inception. And just from some of the imagery, I was thinking of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Just a couple of different things. And all of that sort of intertwined into this whole Doctor Strange mythos with, science and magic and all that stuff really made for a very interesting film. And the one thing that was very interesting by far, the biggest standout, are the special effects and the action scenes. Because they're some of the most, pardon the pun I guess, mind-bending situations that the characters can get themselves into. Being that they're able to manipulate time and space and just whatever else is around them makes for some very interesting scenarios. Case in point, without delving into spoilers quite yet, when there's the action scene in New York and everything is just going all haywire. We've all seen it in the trailer where literally half of New York is bent. It's odd. And all the while there's kind of like a fight scene going on, or more so of a chase scene, if you will. And all while that's going on, everything around them is being manipulated and switched around too, like the whole city and everything. And I thought some of those scenes, well, no, not some of them, most of those scenes were very excellent. And I just kept thinking to myself throughout the duration of the film, and whenever some of those scenes did appear, how on earth did they do that? How did they think of that? It was very creative, honestly. I am glad to have been able to see Doctor Strange come to life in theaters. And it was definitely one of the better Marvel movies that I enjoyed as of late. They've kind of been getting a little bit boring, in my opinion, and I kind of appreciate more of these, I guess, obscure characters, if you will, because we don't know what to expect. And then that's what makes the ride that much more fun, that much more thrilling. And I really appreciated this film. I really enjoyed it. So pretty much the plot of this film is in Kathmandu, Kaecilius, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, and his gang of thugs pretty much sneak into Carmitage, if I'm pronouncing that correctly as well. And they murder the librarian that's there, who kind of guards all these books and stuff like that. And they take a book that has a bunch of rituals that actually belong to the Ancient One. They steal a couple of pages from this book, and these pages are what's able to permit Kaecilius into summoning Dormammu, who is this, powerful being who is in charge, I guess, of the Dark Dimension. And time doesn't exist there, you can basically live forever. That's what Kaecilius wants, Kaecilius and his followers. And he was able to learn how to do all this stuff, of course, from, his teachings at Carmitage, and he basically just betrayed all of them. As the film progresses, the beginning portion of the film, we meet Dr. Stephen Strange, and he's driving his car, he's taking a call. They're basically giving him all these different cases and stuff like that. He's a very world-renowned surgeon, and he gets into a pretty bad car accident where his hands just go, just mesh with the dashboard, and he has tons of nerve damage and all that. his hands just basically aren't what they used to be. And he was kind of a bit of a douchebag, so I guess this was kind of karma coming to collect. And he pretty much scours the earth trying to find somebody to help him and heal his hands, which is how he gets all the way back to Kathmandu, and then he gets into this whole shindig of Kaecilius and all these other guys, and it's not something that he wanted to get into, but he kind of got sucked into it. So the plot isn't hard to follow along, and it's a very, simple one at that. There's no complications or anything like that. There's no crazy sort of characters plucked out from everywhere and just sort of jammed into this film, kind of like a Amazing Spider-Man 2 type situation. If I were to, I'm just kind of just babbling along if I were to try and simplify, the whole film. It was obviously good that they went that route. They don't want to put too much cooks in the kitchen, so to speak, especially with a film like this and a character like this, because not a lot of people are familiar with Doctor Strange. I certainly wasn't, at least vaguely. So getting to know the character, see how it intertwines with the other Marvel films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Avengers and all that stuff, and then to see where it's going to go from here in Infinity War and the other future films, I'm very excited for. So I really do feel like Doctor Strange is very much a welcome addition to the MCU. So if you haven't seen this film, I highly suggest you go out and do so. I'm about to get into some spoiler territory, so once again, fair warning, I highly recommend that you go see this film, come back, and then you can further analyze my thoughts and opinions on the film. So towards the latter portion of the film, it has come to the realization that the Ancient One was actually drawing power from Dormammu in the Dark Dimension, which explains her longevity in life and how she's been able to just pretty much be around for so long. And Doctor Strange, Mordo, and the audience come to that realization after Kaecilius pretty much announces that, and she pretty much confirms it. So while the London Sanctum gets all destroyed, they're in the New York Sanctum, they're having this kind of like this all-out battle. So the Ancient One pretty much gets attacked. She's on the brink of death. Doctor Strange brings her back to Christine Palmer, who is the love interest played by Rachel McAdams. And she doesn't really have a lot going on in this film. Yeah, she's there as the love interest, but I mean, could they have done more with the character? I feel maybe just a little bit, but I mean, it is what it is. So anyways, she works at the same hospital that Doctor Strange did. So they try to, bring her back to life, but it's a no-go, and she pretty much tells Doctor Strange that in order to match Kaecilius, he has to unfortunately break some of the rules, which is frowned upon in this whole, community. So not something that Mordo and Wong really liked. Doctor Strange kind of dabbled with that a little bit earlier in the film, so that's exactly what he does. So they go to the Hong Kong Sanctum, and everything is just done. So Doctor Strange uses time, and he manipulates it and pretty much rewinds everything to bring Wong back from the dead, and rebuild the Hong Kong Sanctum. All the while Dormammu is pretty much coming, he's making his presence known. So Doctor Strange makes this bargain with Dormammu, all the while on this consistent loop, because Dormammu keeps killing him, but Doctor Strange promised to make him his prisoner unless he leaves Earth. So Dormammu's like, yo, chill, I don't want to keep killing you, this is pointless, I'm in prison, this is all I'm going to keep doing. He's like, I want more, I want to eat planets. So he pretty much gives Doctor Strange what he asks for. Hong Kong gets fixed, and Kaecilius and his minions get sucked in, and then they become, this was an Easter egg, they become one of the mindless ones. If you're not familiar with one of the mindless ones, or what they are, highly suggest you look them up. They're these pretty crazy beings that even in the comics, Doctor Strange isn't really, well-versed in what to do with them and how to take care of them. But that's a different subject for a different time. Mordo is pretty much disgusted with what Doctor Strange had to do in defying nature and all that. So he leaves. He's like, screw this, I'm out. I can't deal with this. He just feels like he's doing against what he was taught. So he leaves. And Doctor Strange returns the little eye, the Eye of Amagato, I believe it's what it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong. And Wong then reveals that there's an Infinity Stone in there. So when I heard that, I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go. That's how it ties in with Infinity War, which is coming soon. Doctor Strange takes up residence in the New York Sanctum, being that got attacked and the person who was guarding that sanctum was killed. That's pretty much how the movie ends. There was a scene in the trailer that I think everyone and myself kind of said to themselves, I wonder if that's the last shot of the film. And it is. Kind of, to a degree. It's one of the last shots of the film, but the film pretty much wraps up there. And in one of the post-credit scenes, Doctor Strange is seen talking to Thor about Odin and trying to find, his dad. And, they're talking about Loki as well, so they're pretty much going to find them both. And then in the later end credit scene, which I actually missed, I had to, look it up. Mordo visits Pangborn, and he actually steals the energy that he uses to walk. And he pretty much says that Earth has just way too many sorcerers. So I guess he's referring to Doctor Strange and maybe him kind of having to defy time and space and all this stuff to defeat Dormammu. So that might possibly set up for a sequel where Mordo is maybe the villain. So we'll just have to wait and see. But all in all, that's pretty much it as far as spoilers go. And if you stood for the spoilers and you haven't seen the film, I don't know why you did that. Shame on you. And that's pretty much it. Overall, Doctor Strange was very interesting. All of the casting choices are very good. I found the score very good. The special effects were out of this world. Is mind-boggling stuff. Something I've never seen before. I've never seen special effects. It's like CG used so well in such a long time. I can't really recall when was the last time I've seen a movie utilize CG so good. All in all, I enjoyed it. If I had to give Doctor Strange a grade, I would give it a A-. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed my review, please leave a like. Check the description box down below. As I made mention earlier on in this video, you will find the link to my good friend Jesus over at Zeus's Zeus. That's his video game channel. He's the one that lent me this beautiful Blue Yeti microphone, and I have been taking advantage of it ever since with my movie reviews. Make sure to check out our gaming channel called The Red Planet Gaming if you're not subscribed to that already. And you will also find our Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram information down there as well. So if you want to follow us and give us a shout on social media, we might even give you a shout back. So make sure to favorite this video, share with your friends online on all your social media platforms, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button so you can be notified whenever we upload a new movie review or anything. That's pretty much it. I am going to enjoy my Dunkin' Donuts because it's been sitting here for who knows how long. And I will see you all in the next video, so thank you all for tuning in.